For many users today, Uber Eats feels crazy expensive. As soon as you open up the app, you pick up a meal, and by the time you get to the checkout, boom, you get hit with so many fees, with so many markups, with so many mysterious ads and all of that. You don't even understand why at the checkout, literally the price jumped from one thing to another, and we're here to talk about it. And at the same time, drivers often report that they are getting paid like so low, but at the same time you always hear that the company Uber Eats is actually making money. The combination of higher consumer prices, struggling drivers, and a profitable platform leads many people to feel that Uber Eats has become scamish. Understanding why, it requires looking at how the economics of the platform actually works. And don't worry about it, your boy is here with you today, and he's gonna let you know on all of it very smoothly. But before we do, don't forget your boy, don't forget to like this video already, subscribe to the channel, comment something down below, and let's go for it. And so why do we have this feeling that Uber Eats nowadays is scamish? Well, I made it into 8 points that we're going to be discussing throughout this video, and without further ado, let's go. The first point is the marked up menu prices. A key reason Uber Eats feels inflated is because the menu prices themselves are often higher on the app than in the restaurant. Restaurants frequently raise prices on delivery apps to offset the large commissions they must pay, often in between 15 to 30% or even more. And in some analysis, meals ordered through delivery apps can be up to 38% more expensive than even dining in. So your scam feeling that often starts even before you even had a meal, literally. And from personal experience, every time I order from Uber Eats, I look at basically the menu and the prices, and I just, for example, compare it to the prices of the restaurant. Like basically you can go to the restaurant itself, like they have a website, and you can go in and you can order from the website and all of that, and you compare the prices and you contrast, you go like, hey, hold on, why am I paying over extra for nothing? And one day I even remember I had an order with Uber Eats, and just in fees and whatever extra I had to pay over the meal, basically my meal was like $40, and in all of the extras and all of that, I was literally looking at $80 at that point. I wait basically for 2 hours, and after 2 hours, I still didn't get my meal. So I go on Uber Eats and I let them know on what happened, and they go like, you know what, we're gonna give you a refund, whatever, and just try and go through another service to get your food. Okay, so I decided to call actually the restaurant themselves and let them know on what happened and all of that, and my actual order was there, but there was no delivery driver. So from their point of view, they took DoorDash, and DoorDash was actually way cheaper, like $30 cheaper than Uber Eats. For what reason is Uber Eats so expensive? No one knows. And that leads me to my second point. Multiple fees that stack up one after the other. And beyond the marked up food, Uber Eats layers several fees onto each order. For example, the delivery fee, the service fee, the small order fee, the busy area fee, or other miscellaneous charges, and then higher in-app menu prices, as I mentioned before. And by the end, literally out of convenience in a way, you are looking at a way higher price than if you actually went and dined in the restaurant, or even went and picked up your own order, you know? Like literally just out of convenience, it's not worth it anymore nowadays. Maybe back then, but now. And literally, just like I said, when you add up cost over costs over costs over costs, that's how from ordering a meal that's supposed to cost like $40, now it's worth $80. And I'm in the checkout looking at my receipt like, one more time, huh? That leads me to my point number 3, the hidden costs. And that is a major source of frustration because of the lack of transparency. Some fees only appear at checkout, certain states show fees in tiers instead of the exact amount, and analysis by regulators shows that the total markup or delivery can be as high as 90 to once all fees are included. And this inconsistency creates a total sense of surprise and total mistrust at the same time. And that's why when again you get to the checkout and you have to pay that price, sometimes I literally go like, you know what, I'm not even gonna bother, I'm gonna even cook myself, because now the price is just too extra for nothing. And that leads us to our number 4, economic forces behind the high prices. And the factor is the Uber Eats model actually pushes costs upwards for several reasons. And hear me out. We've got the first one is high commissions, restaurants passing those costs to customers, followed with expensive logistics like drivers, fuel, insurance, app infrastructures, and everything. And the last one is surge in pricing during busy times or locations. So the results is a system where customers pay significantly more for the convenience of delivery, and sometimes shockingly more. So literally just for the convenience of being in your home and not having to do jack nothing, and you just have to go to your phone and order what you want, and then you can wait for like an hour and the food is going to be right in front of your door. Hey, that's convenience, you know. But when convenience has become so expensive lately, when it literally in between a meal of $40 that go to $80, it's not convenience anymore. Now you're making my wallet literally lighter. But that moves us to our number 5, consumer psychology and the convenience premium. And users compare the price on Uber Eats to walking in and buying the same item or ordering directly through the restaurant, and the difference can feel unreasonable. When people see an order with $10 to $20 in taxes and fees, the experience feels like being ripped off. You are basically paying for the convenience. But many feel that this premium nowadays has grown so far that premium nowadays doesn't feel like premium nowadays. And it's basically the regular. And if you want the premium, then you gotta pay maybe extra. That's where you have like Uber One, Uber whatever, like you can get a subscription and this. And then even when you get a subscription, they will let you know, oh, you can still use everything. You gotta still get the plus of the subscription. That way you can basically use everything. So basically it's a game where they are just putting more tiers and more tiers and more tiers. That way they can make you pay more and more. And my point 6, why actually drivers don't actually make that much money. Another factor adding to the scam perception is that drivers don't appear to be benefiting from all these fees. And we've got several points into this one. For example, the first little point is the low base pay, which says that base payouts in some markets can be as low as $1 to $3 per delivery. And the average earnings in some states hover around $14 to $15 an hour before expenses. And most drivers must pay for their own fuel, repairs, insurance, and vehicle depreciation, which can cut net profit dramatically. Followed by that, we also got too many drivers. More drivers equals fewer orders per driver. And platforms can onboard huge numbers of drivers at no cost, pushing earnings downwards. Followed by that, we also got the algorithm. Drivers often say they don't understand why some orders pay so little, or how wait time is counted, or how incentives work, or why promotions appear inconsistently. And this unpredictability makes it hard for them to earn consistently. Followed by that, we've got high expenses. Because drivers are independent contractors, many find their take-home pay is low after covering vehicle costs. And with that, you also got the decline in pay trends. Some reports suggest driver earnings have fallen significantly even as consumer fees rise. So that's the thing, they are still making their money, they are still able to take care of their stuff and all of that. But when the expenses get too expensive, basically to do the same thing, and you go to a restaurant and you are in a pool of basically like 10, 20 Uber delivery drivers, basically you're not making that much money, you know? Moving on to our number 7, the platform's high take rate. Multiple analyses suggest Uber's effective take rate, the portion of consumer fees not going to the driver, may be far higher than the company's stated numbers. For example, if a driver earns only 45% of the total fare, Uber keeps 55% before the driver's expenses. And this is why it actually makes its users feel like the fees are not supporting the restaurants or the drivers, but they are literally just straight up supporting the company Uber Eats. That leads us to our final point, number 8, how consumers can reduce costs. To avoid the scam feeling, check the restaurant's own website or app before ordering. Then compare total cost versus the pickup, because sometimes it might be way cheaper than to just go and pick it up yourself than to just wait for it and pay extra. Avoid peak times when fees surge. Then watch out for small orders fees and always tip drivers directly. Delivery fees don't necessarily go to them. You never know. Use pickup promo codes or subscription benefits strategically, and at the end, support local restaurants by ordering directly when possible. Uber Eats nowadays in 2025 feels in a way a little bit like a scam, you know? Not because of one single thing, but because of multiple factors that make it to look like a scam nowadays. Inflated menu prices, stacked opaque fees, rising platform profits, and low driver pay. Customers pay far more than the food is worth. Drivers often earn little despite doing the actual labor, and the platform captures a large share of the revenue. This mismatch between cost and value creates a widespread sense of being exploited, even though the system is functioning exactly as designed. And Uber Eats still offers convenience, but the convenience has become so expensive and so poorly aligned with where the money goes that many users walk away feeling misled, overcharged, and frustrated. And if convenience is worth the premium, Uber Eats can still make sense, you know? But for many people in 2025, it does not make sense anymore because it's not cheap anymore. And the economics of the platform nowadays makes it feel more like a scam than a regular service, you know? So guys, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about Uber Eats nowadays in the ending of 2025? Let me know how do you feel about it. Let me know if you also feel that, you know, you are literally just paying extra over extra for fees that no one understands why they are there for. Be cautious of where you spend your money and always tip your drivers. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video to as many people as you know, and your boy's gonna see you on the next one. Peace!